Good morning, everyone. This is David Cly of the Orange Design and Hexen Media Group podcast again. I wanted to start and talk about what we've seen for people in 2022. Now, currently, when this video is being produced, we're recording it in early March, but I've got a lot of clients that are stuck in the same pattern of what they have been doing. They're doing a lot of the same things and expecting different results. So today I wanted to go with a little bit of a longer form podcast than we normally do and talk about 25 ways to reinvent your marketing strategy for 2022. So let's go ahead and start the podcast. I'm going to start from 25. First thing is, how many referrals and reviews are you getting for your business, and do you have a strategy to get more? As we see things continue online, reviews have been a big part of helping people to make decisions, whether it be on an Amazon product page or on a local business page for a business, on Google My Business or Google Maps. Really understanding as much as you can about a business, understanding what that experience is going to be like, and having a strategy to get more of those reviews can definitely help you stand out. Let's talk about number 24. In what areas is your competition falling short, and what areas are they the strongest? How does your business measure up? Chances are you're well aware of what your competitors offer. You can go to their website, you can see where they're falling short, you can see they don't have videos, they have thin content, etc., and also see what ways they're the strongest. And when you have your website versus theirs, or your social media feeds versus theirs, it's going to be fairly easy to take notes and figure out fairly quickly where you can make improvements in your own and also spot weaknesses within your competitors' areas. Number 23, do you have a defined success metric for every campaign that you implement? So for example, if you're on AdWords, is it maximizing conversions? Is it maximizing clicks or leads? Do you have something that says whatever I'm doing within every particular platform, what is my defined success metric? Number 22, what part of your business is off-putting or scary for first-time buyers, and what can you do to make it less so? Taking a look at your business, if you are going to be a person that's considering hiring you, really take a look at what you offer and how you present it through their eyes. And then take a look and see how can you make that easier to where a person could say, you know what, I trust this person more, or it's easier for them to absorb your information. Definitely something you want to do for growing your business to see how you can make that message more effective with whoever is visiting your site. Number 21. What are you doing to help people get to know, like, and trust you? For example, do you have things that are within a community page? Do you have a About Us page that's more robust that shows what you do? Do you have a lot of testimonials? Are you constantly posting on social with events that you're involved in or good experiences that other people have had with your business? How are you getting people to know you better, like you, and trust what you have to offer? Number 20, what's your call to action, and does it fit where it's being used? For example, if you have somebody on your About page, that's not exactly the time you want to be like, buy, or sell, sell. Wherever your call to action is, a lot of people make this mistake, specifically on landing pages when they throw forms and phone numbers and they actually block the content. People might not be ready in their buyer's journey to actually convert wherever your call to actions are. So take a look and see if that makes sense where you're placing those. Number 19. How has your product or service evolved over the past year? Has your marketing message changed, or does it need to? When we're taking a look at what you have to offer, chances are you've probably had quite a bit of time during this whole pandemic period to refine your message, to understand how you can better present that to people, and really get more in touch with your clientele. If you've had to evolve your product or services, has everything changed with that? Meaning, have you updated all of your social media platforms? Have you updated the messaging on your website? Or if you've noticed a drop off in traffic, have you actually looked at those metrics and see, does it need to change, or are you still doing fairly well? Number 18, what are your customer retention strategies and how are you implementing them? We talked a little bit in 19 through 25 about obtaining new business. What are you doing for your existing clients? Are you constantly reaching out to them? Are you making sure that they're doing okay? Are you listening to their needs? Are you reaching out to them versus them always having to reach out to you? So not only can your business thrive by gaining new business, but you can also grow your business within your existing client base. Number 17, how much does your average customer cost your business to sign up? So this is a metric that I've reviewed with a lot of our clients, is that through all of our advertising efforts, what is the actual cost it takes to sign up an individual client? And that cost can vary greatly from a standard local service provider to a higher end attorney or something like that. Trying to get that average cost of signing up a customer as low as possible, since we're talking about getting new business and retaining existing business, but we also want to go back and take a look at reducing those fees as much as possible. Number 16. What story are you telling? Is it a story about you, or is it a story about your clients? This really takes a look at what's going to be most effective with your audience. When they're coming to your site, do they want to hear about what you offer and your backstory and everything that you have to offer? That might work for like a construction company. Like, here's all the different things that we've done. Here's all the different experience that we have. Or if it's more like a direct interaction with a client, is it a story about your clients? Is it more of a personal story to where you have that more one-on-one interaction? And what have you seen work most in your past marketing? Number 15. Do your customers enjoy a type of content you are not providing, such as podcasts or videos? Everybody, I can tell you right off the bat, videos and podcasts, if you don't have some type of medium for putting that together, you're going to fall behind. I have a lot of different clients right now that are transitioning over to either an audible type of podcast or a video type of podcast just to get more information about their services out and answer a lot of commonly asked questions. The standard old blog format, that's good and great, but it's not going to be as effective as all these new mediums that are becoming more popular and growing very rapidly. Number 14. How many active followers do you have on each social media platform that you participate, and how has that changed with COVID? I don't think it's any secret that as we've been through these past couple of years with the pandemic, that people have spent less time on social media. I have metrics and data that shows it's grown rapidly, and that was a great time period to grow your followers on your social media networks because they were constantly on all these different networks. People working from home, people having more time off. There was a big push to market on social media as much as possible. And just because now we're coming out of the pandemic, there's definitely still that chance to get higher following on social media. But you're going to have to act fairly quickly, and you're going to need to make sure you have the right strategy to do so. Number 13. What type of content do your customers like the best and have the most interaction with? So I really hope that people are tracking what resonates with their customers. You should have everything set up in analytics or some other type of tracking software that says, where do people spend the most time on your site? What are they interacting with? What do they click through the most? What do they convert from the most? So taking a look at your content and making sure that you're producing more of what people interact with the most, that's going to help you to double and triple those efforts and not waste as much time on things that aren't really working for you. Number 12, what data are you currently tracking and what are you doing with it? This goes into what I was just talking about in number 13. You have to have the data, otherwise you can't make educated decisions on what you're trying to do. If you have data that says this is how people navigate through your site, or this is how people convert, or this is, for example, if you have like heat maps on your site and you know that somebody constantly goes through an area and it's successful, you need to produce more of that. Having that data and not doing anything with it is just as bad. Number 11, do you have an email list? So now we're talking a little bit about more old school marketing in the eyes of some and still relevant marketing in the eyes of others. Depends on which marketer you talk to. An email list can be a great way just to stay in touch with your current clients or anyone that's interacted with media and provided their information. I get emails all the time. Some of them I ignore. Some of them it's actually things that I'm interested in. And the ones that I'm interested in have a much more refined message. Even if it's something I'm not looking to do right away, having them top of mind is always a good thing, and knowing what they offer, and especially when it's presented in a non-sales way. Yes, you can produce offers, but in my opinion, the best offers don't sound like offers. They more sound like, here's something that we have available right now, and you kind of convince yourself that you need it. But definitely making sure that you have an email list and you're building that is something you consider having on your plate for 2022. Number 10, are you using any tracking software that shows where people are clicking on your website? If yes, where are they clicking and where aren't they clicking, and what does that tell you about their needs? This goes more into the user interface of your website and how people are using your existing online entity. If you don't have any tracking software set up, there's a lot of them that offer free trials. We can link to some of them in the video description. When we do a lot of these site audits, that's something that we have to take a look at as what is already effective. Because when we're doing a redesign of a website, or we're trying to change someone's landing page experience and get the ads converting at a higher rate, we really need to refine so much of an existing message to really be more focused about their clients and what their specific needs are so that we can get the best ROI and conversion rate as possible. Number 9. What is the open rate on your newsletter or emails? Has that changed during the pandemic? So this goes back to what I was talking about earlier, where we were talking about building email lists in number 11. The open rate for your newsletter I mean, is it interesting? Do you have a catchy headline? Does it have good images? Does it have good graphics? With that open rate, the only thing they're going to see is the subject line of the email. Does it convince people to actually open it? And then do you satisfy that need once they open the email? Is it exciting to look at? Is it exciting to read? Does it get them involved in your business in any kind of way? And most importantly, do they do what you want them to do? Number 8, do you sell through fear, inspiration, or solving a problem? And does that course of action still work for your business? This is more looking about how you're presenting your message. Is this, you need to do this or this will happen? Is it, hey, you need to do this and this will make you a better person? Or we know that you have this problem and here's how we help you solve it. And does that still work? I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory for number 8. If you're not getting the same results that you used to, or you don't feel that people are gravitating to your message in greater numbers as they used to in the past, or you're trying to get people to gravitate to your message, really understand how your clients are going to interact with this and what they are going to think of your message. Number 7, what specific customer problems do you solve? When you're looking at all of your online entities that people can interact with, really refining your message to say, we know that you have this type of need, desire, or problem, and here's how we can help you solve it. But you also have to outline clearly or specifically what those problems are that you solve. Otherwise, you're just going to be throwing stuff all across the board, and you won't really have any definition to your message. It's just going to be all over the place. It's not going to be focused, and that can make people confused. Number 6, are people still reading your blogs or FAQs, and are you still posting frequently? Just because you may not have had the best experience with your blog in the past, that doesn't mean you can't use this year or years in the future to improve upon that blog and try to test and see what works best. Blogs are a great way, and FAQs are a great way to answer questions, provide updates about your business. We talked about this in our other video, which we'll link in the description, for reasons why you still should be blogging. It's the easiest way to create newsletter content, create email blasts. You can include blogs and FAQs in your emails and link back to your site. You can answer direct questions, which provides additional SEO value. Definitely don't give up on your blogs or FAQ pages. And if you are having struggles with them, take a look at some of the other items that we have mentioned in this numerical list and see how you can improve those. Look at how you're talking about things. Look at what problems you're presenting that you can help people solve. Make it informative, make it interesting. Number 5, where's your target audience on social media, and are you still able to reach them as easily as you once were? So with social media, that's changed quite a bit. We've talked about people spending more time on social media. We've talked about ad spend in the past for converting your campaigns at a higher rate in our other videos. Refining where your target audience is and reaching them, there's a couple different ways you can do that. One is through messaging, one is through higher spend, one is through better interest targeting. So when you're taking a look at where your target audience is on social media, make sure that you're targeting them with the right message. Make sure that if that message is no longer working, that you're doing A/B testing to refine that, and ultimately work to try to get your reach as strong as possible with as many people as possible at a cost that's been reduced over time. Number 4, what is your reputation in your industry? Or what do people think of when they think of your brand, product, or service? This goes into a lot of things that we talked about, such as reviews, such as testimonials, such as how you talk about your business, how people talk about the experience that they've had with your business in the past. Really making sure your reputation is as strong as possible. I think that everyone knows if they're in business for themselves or if they're part of a small to medium-sized business, you're going to have competition. That competition is going to be strong. So making sure that you really highlight to keep your reputation as high as possible. Make sure you're reaching out to your community, making sure that you are highlighting positive experiences in as many places as you can to make sure that people always have a positive perception whenever your brand, product, or service is mentioned. Number 3, what is your brand's tone? For example, taking a look at how you're described. Try this simple exercise. We are blank, but not blank. For example, we are innovative, but not boring. If you talk about your own business in your current tone, do you bore yourself? Is it exciting? Is it something you actually want to talk about? Is it something that gets people motivated? Or is it just the same old informational type of speaking and type of tone? There's no shortage of websites across the internet, and the ones that stand out and have that exciting, motivating brand tone, those are the ones that are going to get the most leads. Those are going to be the ones that convert the most clients. Number 2, what is your marketing goal in 2022 or beyond? So for example, what are your objectives or tactics for getting there? How will you measure your success, or how will you know when you've reached that goal? You have to have clear goals. For example, if you're outlining, I want to increase my revenue by XYZ amount or a certain percentage. I want to increase my signed up leads by this amount. I want to have this many likes or this many follows by a certain date. Having those definitive goals is going to be key, because you have to know when you've met them. You can't just throw out there, we've talked about this in past videos, you can't just throw out a whole bunch of stuff and then see what sticks and nobody's watching it, nobody's tracking it. Having definitive goals and actually having the discipline to follow up on those goals, track that data, and make sure that you're following up as much as possible, both with yourself and with your existing team. All right, everybody, we've reached number 1. The biggest thing on this list of 25 ways to reinvent your marketing strategy for 2022. Who is your ideal customer, or do you know? Having your ideal customer in mind, understanding who you want to convert, who you want to reach, goes along with every single thing we've talked about, whether it be reaching them on social media, retaining them through emails or newsletters or FAQs or blog posts that you're sharing with them. Taking a look at who your ideal customer is will help you to refine every single aspect of all the things that we talked about in your marketing strategy. So everyone, I hope that you've had a great time listening to this. I know we went a little bit longer than we normally do. We generally try to keep these minutes down to around 10 minutes, but this is a really big list I want everybody to take a look at, and we'll also have this outlined in the description as well. It's something you really have to take a look at, because a lot of people miss these things or they'll only do a few of them, and I want people to really take a look at all the things that they have in 2022 and not do the same old things to make this a truly great year for everybody. If you found this video informative and you like what we're talking about, please be sure to share, like, and follow our social media channels in addition to YouTube as well. We hope to hear from you in the comments section. Have a great day, everyone.